I got mugged twice, and I moved back to the country because I got a little phobic about the city.
Rachael Ray, the celebrated chef and television host, has recently encountered a series of distressing events that have deeply impacted her life. Did you know that? From facing challenging health issues to navigating personal and legal struggles, Ray's once vibrant public persona has been overshadowed by these significant trials. This update provides a heartfelt look at the recent difficulties that made Rachael Ray cry. Don't miss it. It's hard to believe this happened to Rachael Ray. In 2008, she found herself at the center of a whirlwind of speculation and misinformation that sparked widespread concern among her fans and the media. The rumors centered on claims that Ray was battling throat cancer, a frightening prospect for someone whose voice was not only a key part of her personal identity, but also central to her career as a beloved TV host. The rumors gained traction when the National Enquirer published an article alleging that Ray was facing a serious health crisis. According to the tabloid, she was preparing to undergo surgery to remove a tumor from her throat, which would necessitate a significant period of time away from her work and the public eye. The article painted a grim picture, suggesting that Ray might be sidelined for several months as she recovered from what many assumed to be a life-threatening condition. Adding fuel to the fire, a subsequent article in the National Enquirer quoted an unnamed source who claimed that Ray had a growth on her vocal cords. This source went further, stating that the growth might require not just surgery, but also radiation treatment. The article even went as far as to mention the presence of cancer cells, a detail that heightened the alarm among Ray's fans and led to a flurry of speculation online and in various media outlets. As the rumors spread, fans expressed their concern on social media, sharing their well wishes and anxiously awaiting updates on Ray's condition. For many, the idea that the vibrant and energetic chef might be seriously ill was deeply unsettling. Ray, known for her infectious enthusiasm and her down-to-earth approach to cooking, had become a fixture in millions of households across America. The thought of her facing a potentially life-threatening illness was a shock to those who had come to see her as a reliable and comforting presence on their screens. However, the rumors, as frightening as they were, turned out to be entirely unfounded. It soon emerged that while Ray did indeed have a health issue that required medical attention, it was not nearly as serious as the rumors suggested. A spokesperson for Ray quickly moved to quash the cancer scare, confirming to People magazine that Ray did need surgery on her vocal cords, but the procedure was to remove a benign cyst, not a cancerous tumor. The spokesperson emphasized that Ray was otherwise in good health and that she did not feel unwell, reassuring fans that there was no cause for alarm. The surgery, which took place in December 2008, was a relatively minor outpatient procedure, and Ray's recovery was swift. In contrast to the months-long absence that had been predicted by the rumors, Ray's work schedule was only briefly interrupted. She took a short week-long break to rest her voice and recover from the surgery, after which she resumed her busy schedule of taping episodes for both her Food Network shows and her syndicated talk show, Rachael Ray. There's another bad thing going on in New York City. Muggings have long been a troubling reality for residents and visitors alike. The sheer size and density of the city make it a place of both opportunity and risk. In January 2024 alone, the New York Police Department, NYPD, reported an alarming 1,417 cases of muggings. Defined as the act of taking someone's possessions through threat or intimidation, mugging is a crime that often leaves its victims shaken, traumatized, and feeling violated. While the incidence of such crimes might seem seemingly small when considered against New York City's population of over 8 million, the impact on those who experience it is profound. For Rachael Ray, the experience of being mugged is one that remains etched in her memory. Not just because it happened, but because it happened twice and by the same person. In the late 1990s, before she became a household name, Ray was living in Queens and commuting to Manhattan for work. Like many New Yorkers, she was familiar with the risks that come with city life, but nothing could have prepared her for what she would endure within the span of a single week. The first mugging occurred in the lobby of her apartment building. Ray, who at the time was focused on building her career and making her way in the bustling city, suddenly found herself face to face with a mugger. In a moment of terror, she was forced to defend herself using pepper spray, a common self-defense tool that many New Yorkers carry for protection. While the incident was frightening, Ray managed to escape relatively unharmed, although undoubtedly shaken. However, the nightmare was far from over. Just days later, the same mugger targeted Ray again, this time in a more secluded and dangerous setting. As she was walking near her home, the assailant dragged her into a dark alley where the situation quickly escalated. The mugger, armed with a weapon, brutally beat Ray, leaving her physically injured and emotionally scarred. The attack was far more violent than the first, and Ray was left fearing for her life as the mugger mercilessly assaulted her. The severity of the beating and the sheer terror of the moment marked a turning point for Ray. The double mugging left Ray deeply traumatized. New York City, a place she had once seen as a land of opportunity and excitement, had suddenly become a place of fear and danger. The psychological impact of the muggings was immense. The feeling of vulnerability, of being hunted by someone who knew her routine and targeted her twice, made her question her safety in the city she had called home. In the wake of these harrowing experiences, Ray made the difficult decision to leave New York City. She sought refuge in a quieter, safer environment where she could begin to heal and rebuild her sense of security. She relocated to the Adirondacks region, a stark contrast to the urban jungle of New York City. The Adirondacks, with its serene lakes, dense forests, and small-town charm, offered Ray the peace and tranquility she desperately needed. Ray found solace in the natural beauty of the region, and it was there that she began to rediscover her passion for food and hospitality. She took on a role managing restaurants at the Sagamore Resort on Lake George, a luxurious resort known for its picturesque views and refined dining experiences. The change of pace allowed Ray to focus on her career without the constant fear that had plagued her in New York City. Surrounded by the calming presence of nature and a supportive community, Ray was able to channel her energy into her work, setting the stage for the remarkable career that would soon follow. Now, let's talk about her personal life. Sadly, Rachael Ray still has no children to this day. Did something bad happen to her? Well, in fact, in recent years, an increasing number of celebrities have made the personal decision to forego parenthood, challenging societal norms and expectations. Among these voices is Rachael Ray, who has been open about her choice not to have children. Ray's decision, rooted in a deep understanding of her own life and responsibilities, reflects a thoughtful and intentional approach to one of life's most significant choices. While many people cite financial concerns as a primary reason for choosing not to have children, this is certainly not the case for Rachael Ray. With a net worth estimated at around $100 million, Ray's decision is far removed from any worries about providing for a family. Instead, her reasoning is deeply personal and stems from the realities of her demanding career and lifestyle. In an interview with People magazine, Rachael Ray candidly shared her thoughts on why motherhood isn't in her future. She explained that her incredibly busy schedule leaves little room for the kind of dedication and presence she believes a child deserves. As someone who has built a culinary empire, including television shows, cookbooks, a magazine, and a line of cookware, Ray's professional life is a whirlwind of activity. The demands of running her various enterprises, combined with the travel and public appearances that come with her level of fame, create a lifestyle that is anything but conducive to raising a child. Ray expressed a genuine concern about the impact her hectic schedule would have on her ability to be a good parent. She acknowledged that even with the best intentions, she would likely struggle to balance her professional commitments with the time and attention a child would need. For Ray, The idea of being an absent or distracted parent is simply unacceptable. She pointed out that she sometimes feels like a neglectful pet owner due to the demands of her career, a feeling she worries would be magnified tenfold if she were to become a mother. This self-awareness and honesty about her limitations are at the heart of Ray's decision. Rather than attempting to have it all and risk falling short, she has chosen to focus on what she knows she can manage effectively. For Ray, that means continuing to pour her energy into her work, which she is deeply passionate about, and into her marriage to her husband, John Cusimano. Together, they have built a life that is fulfilling and complete without the addition of children. Ray's stance on not having children also reflects a broader shift in societal attitudes toward parenthood. For many years, women, especially those in the public eye, were expected to aspire to motherhood as part of a complete life. However, more and more women, like Ray, are openly challenging that narrative, demonstrating that fulfillment and happiness can come in many forms. Ray's decision is a powerful example of someone who knows what she wants out of life and is not afraid to make choices that align with her values and capabilities. Rachael Ray's decision to remain child-free is intricately tied to her experiences and challenges in the realm of dating. As a successful businesswoman and celebrity chef, Ray has always prioritized her career and personal well-being over societal expectations, including those related to relationships and motherhood. Her approach to dating, characterized by a no-nonsense attitude toward emotional neediness and time demands, reveals a strong sense of self-awareness and a commitment to maintaining her autonomy. Before marrying John Cusimano in 2005, Ray navigated the complexities of dating while building her career. She was clear about her boundaries and expectations, particularly when it came to the issue of time. Ray has never been one to tolerate neediness or clinginess in a partner, and she has little patience for anyone who attempts to guilt-trip her into spending more time with them. This was a consistent deal-breaker for her in relationships, leading her to end things with men who couldn't accept her busy schedule and the demands of her career. Ray's experiences in dating played a significant role in shaping her views on relationships and family life. She has always been upfront about her priorities, making it clear to potential partners that her work comes first. This stance was not just about protecting her time, but also about safeguarding her mental and emotional well-being. Ray understood that the pressure to conform to someone else's expectations, especially when it involved compromising her career or personal goals, would only lead to unnecessary stress and dissatisfaction. Her approach to dating reflects a broader philosophy of self-care and self-respect. Ray values her independence and has always been careful to avoid situations where she might feel pressured or burdened by the expectations of others. This mindset has allowed her to maintain a strong sense of identity and purpose, even in the face of societal pressures to settle down and start a family. Ray's refusal to succumb to guilt trips or emotional manipulation in relationships also speaks to her understanding of what she needs in a partner. For her, a successful relationship is one where both individuals respect each other's time, goals, and boundaries. She has always sought out relationships where her autonomy is valued and where her partner supports rather than hinders her ambitions. It is a fact that Ray's view applies to her relationship with her family as well. She asserts that love is not always directed towards family. Rachael Ray is known for her infectious enthusiasm, down-to-earth charm, and deep love for her family. Throughout her career, Ray has often spoken about the profound influence her family has had on her life, particularly her mother, Elsa Scuderi. Ray has described her mother as not only her favorite cook, but also her favorite person, underscoring the close bond they share. Elsa's influence on Rachael's culinary journey is undeniable, and it was her mother's passion for food that inspired Rachael's own love for cooking. Ray's relationship with her mother is a central theme in her life story. She frequently credits Elsa with teaching her the fundamentals of cooking and instilling in her a love for hearty, simple meals that bring people together. This familial connection to food is evident in Ray's approach to cooking, which emphasizes ease, accessibility, and the joy of sharing meals with loved ones. Elsa's presence has been a constant source of support throughout Ray's career, even accompanying her daughter during pivotal moments, such as her first appearance on The Today Show, a moment that played a significant role in launching Ray's television career. However, like many families, the Rays have faced their share of hardships. In 2013, the family experienced a devastating tragedy that left deep emotional scars and led to a painful family dispute. The incident involved Rachael Ray's aunt, Geraldine Dominica Scuderi, a beloved family member who was 77 years old at the time. Geraldine was known for her warmth and care, and she played an active role in the family's life. In late November 2013, Geraldine was staying at Rachel's home, watching over the property while Rachael was away. It was during this time that a tragic accident occurred, leading to her untimely death. On a cold winter day, Geraldine ventured outside to feed the birds, a simple act of kindness that tragically turned fatal. After stepping outside, Geraldine accidentally locked herself out of the house. With the temperatures plummeting and the situation becoming increasingly dire, she tried to break a window to re-enter the house. Unfortunately, Geraldine collapsed outside the home, succumbing to the cold. Her body was not discovered until the next day, leaving the family in shock and grief. The tragic death of Geraldine Dominica Scuderi not only brought immense sorrow to Rachael Ray and her family, but also led to a rift within the family. In the aftermath of the incident, tensions rose, particularly between Rachael and one of her cousins. The cousin, devastated by the loss of their mother, accused Rachael of negligence, claiming that Geraldine's death could have been prevented if Rachael had provided her aunt with a key to the house. The cousin argued that Rachel's failure to ensure her aunt had access to the home was a contributing factor to the tragedy. The situation was further complicated by Geraldine's pre-existing health issues. She had been dealing with lung problems, which the cousin believed made her especially vulnerable to the cold and the physical stress of trying to re-enter the house. These factors, combined with the tragic circumstances of her death, fueled the family dispute, causing a painful rift that added to the grief of losing a loved one. The family dispute following Geraldine's untimely death was further exacerbated when Ray missed her aunt's funeral due to prior commitments related to her television career. This absence sparked discontent among some family members who felt that Ray's failure to attend was a sign of disrespect or lack of emotion. The tension reached a peak when certain relatives accused Ray of being indifferent to the tragedy, alleging that she had shed a single tear over her aunt's death. These comments reflected a broader sentiment of disappointment and frustration, particularly from those who felt that Ray's absence from the funeral underscored a lack of personal investment in the family's grief. The criticism was hurtful and public, intensifying the already painful situation. Ray's brother, Emmanuel Manny Ray, stepped in to defend his sister amidst the growing backlash. Manny expressed his sadness over the negative portrayal of Rachael and was particularly distressed by the claims that she was indifferent. He asserted that Rachael had been deeply affected by the tragedy and had always worked hard, not only for her own success, but also to support others, including members of the Scuderi family. Manny's defense highlighted the discrepancy between the public's perception and Rachael's actual commitment to her family and work. The controversy over Rachael Ray's absence from the funeral underscores the complex interplay between personal and professional responsibilities, especially for someone in the public eye. While Ray's commitments to her television career were significant, her absence from such a critical family event was perceived as a significant lapse by some relatives, exacerbating tensions within the family. In addition to the family drama, Rachael Ray faced another personal loss that deeply affected her: the passing of her beloved dog, Isabu. Known for her profound love of animals, Ray frequently showcased her passion for dogs on her television shows and in her magazine. Isabeau was a central figure in Ray's life, and her death was a significant emotional blow for the chef. The grief over Isabeau's passing led Ray to channel her emotions into a new venture, the creation of her dog food brand, Rachael Ray Nutrish. The brand was born out of Ray's desire to provide high-quality, nutritious food for dogs while also honoring the memory of her beloved pet. Nutrish focuses on offering wholesome, beneficial food options for dogs, aligning with Ray's commitment to animal welfare. Moreover, Rachael Ray Nutrish is not just a commercial endeavor. It also reflects Ray's dedication to giving back to animals in need. A portion of the proceeds from every purchase of Nutrish goes to the Rachael Ray Foundation, an organization established to support animals in distress. This charitable component of Nutrish highlights Ray's broader commitment to animal welfare and her desire to make a positive impact beyond her personal experiences. However, despite its positive intentions and substantial support, Nutrish has faced several legal challenges over the years that have impacted its reputation and operations. The first major issue emerged in 2018 when a complaint was filed against Nutrish alleging that the dog food contained traces of glyphosate, a widely used herbicide commonly associated with weed killers. The complainants argued that this ingredient, which was not expected in a natural product, rendered the food misleadingly labeled. Glyphosate has been a controversial substance, with some studies linking it to potential health risks, making its presence in a supposedly natural product particularly concerning. Initially, the complaint was dismissed due to its lack of specificity, but the matter was refiled with additional details. Despite these efforts, the case was dismissed once again, leaving the legal status of the complaint unresolved. The legal troubles for Nutrish did not end there. In 2020, a new lawsuit emerged, presenting a different set of allegations. This time, the complaint focused on claims that tests had detected dog DNA in the dog food. Additionally, the lawsuit contended that the product contained more ingredients than the 6 advertised on the packaging. These claims, if proven true, would suggest discrepancies between the product's labeling and its actual content, potentially misleading consumers who rely on the brand's promises of simplicity and quality. In the same year, another lawsuit challenged the health claims made by the brand, alleging that the food was not as beneficial for dogs as advertised. This legal action questioned the nutritional benefits promoted by Nutrish, suggesting that the food might not meet the health standards claimed in its marketing. However, like the previous cases, this lawsuit was also dismissed, leaving Nutrish to continue its operations despite the legal hurdles. After this incident, Rachael Ray had to endure an unpleasant torment from the public. One of the more prominent sources of criticism has been the existence of websites dedicated to disparaging her work. The website I Don't Like Rachael Ray, which has since been rebranded as Rachael Ray Sucks, is an example of this phenomenon. These sites have been platforms for individuals who take issue with Ray's approach to cooking or her public persona. Such criticisms often stem from the divergence between Ray's style and the more traditional or gourmet approaches favored by certain culinary professionals. The existence and visibility of these websites reflect the polarizing effect Ray has had on some segments of the culinary community and the public. In addition to these online criticisms, Rachael Ray has faced negative remarks from some of her colleagues in the food industry. Perhaps the most notable instance of this was Martha Stewart's public critique of Ray. During a 2009 interview on ABC, Stewart expressed her disapproval of Ray's culinary abilities and her cookbook. Stewart recounted an incident where Ray reportedly admitted to her that she couldn't bake, which Stewart took as indicative of Ray's limitations as a cook. This criticism from Stewart, a respected figure in the culinary and lifestyle world, highlighted the professional friction that can arise between prominent personalities in the industry. Ray's approach to cooking, emphasizing quick, easy, and accessible meals, has been both her signature and a point of contention. While this method has endeared her to a broad audience and contributed to her success, it has also attracted criticism from culinary purists and traditionalists. Notable figures such as Giada de Laurentiis, Emeril Lagasse, and Anthony Bourdain have voiced their disapproval of Ray's style. For example, Bourdain, known for his candid and often blunt opinions, was critical of what he perceived as the oversimplification of cooking, which he felt detracted from the art and skill involved in more complex culinary techniques. Despite these criticisms, the dynamic nature of the culinary world means that personal and professional relationships can evolve over time. This is evident in the case of Emeril Lagasse, who initially had a contentious relationship with Ray. However, the two chefs have since resolved their differences. Emeril Lagasse now appears regularly on Ray's show, and their relationship is characterized by mutual respect and collaboration. This reconciliation highlights how professional disagreements can be navigated and resolved, leading to productive and positive interactions despite earlier tensions. Are any other bad things happening to Rachael Ray? Of course there is. Don't forget Rachael Ray's latest television project, Rachael Ray's Rebuild, which is a poignant reflection of the chef's own experiences with loss and recovery. The show focuses on individuals who have faced significant hardships, similar to the personal tragedy that Ray encountered when her Adirondack home was destroyed by fire in 2020. This new endeavor allows Ray to channel her own experiences into helping others rebuild their lives and homes after calamities. The fire that devastated Ray's home was particularly harrowing for her and her husband, John Cusimano. The house, which they had built over a decade earlier, held deep sentimental value. It was not just a physical structure, but a repository of countless memories and personal significance. The fire started as a chimney blaze, which quickly spiraled out of control. The speed with which the flames spread forced Ray and Cusimano to evacuate their home abruptly. Despite their efforts, the house was reduced to ashes, leaving them with nothing but the clothes on their backs. The loss was profoundly felt, as the fire consumed several belongings that were deeply meaningful to Ray. This included personal mementos, cherished possessions, and elements of the home that had been lovingly curated over the years. The devastation was not just about losing a house, but losing a cherished part of their lives. In response to this tragedy, Ray embarked on the journey of rebuilding her home with the goal of recreating the comfort and familiarity of the original structure. Her approach to rebuilding was both a tribute to the past and an opportunity to improve upon the previous design. Ray meticulously worked to replicate the layout of the old house, ensuring that the new home retained the essence of what had been lost. This included recreating familiar room arrangements and selecting furniture that matched or mirrored what they had before. However, Ray's experience with the fire also taught her valuable lessons about safety and resilience. In incorporating these lessons into the new home, she made several key changes aimed at preventing a similar disaster in the future. One of the most significant upgrades was the installation of a tin roof. This choice was made to enhance the fire resistance of the house, reflecting Ray's commitment to ensuring that the new structure would be safer and more durable. In the wake of her devastating home fire, Rachael Ray faced an array of significant life changes, including the ambitious project of rebuilding her Adirondack home. As part of her journey towards recovery and renewal, Ray also made a major investment in her personal and professional life by purchasing a house in Tuscany, Italy, in 2021. This picturesque acquisition was not just a real estate investment, but also a new chapter for Ray, one that she has shared with her audience through the series Rachael Ray's Italian Dream Home, available for streaming on Hulu. The Tuscan property represents more than just a vacation home for Ray. It symbolizes a dream realized and a new beginning. The series documents Ray's efforts to renovate and restore the Italian house, offering viewers a glimpse into her journey of transforming the property into a beautiful and functional space. The project reflects her enduring passion for cooking, lifestyle, and design, and allows her to explore and share her love for Italy's rich culture and stunning landscapes. The series also highlights the challenges and triumphs of such a substantial renovation, providing a personal and engaging narrative for fans. Amid these significant changes, Ray's life faced another unexpected challenge in September 2021. Just as she was navigating the complexities of rebuilding her home and managing her new Tuscan property, Hurricane Ida struck New York City. The impact of the hurricane was severe, though technically it was no longer classified as a hurricane by the time it reached the city. The storm brought unprecedented rainfall, which led to widespread flooding and significant damage across the region. The devastation caused by Hurricane Ida was profound. It broke rainfall records and resulted in millions of dollars in damages, as well as multiple fatalities. The hurricane's aftermath was felt across New York City, with more than 3% of the city's buildings suffering damage. Unfortunately, Rachael Ray's newly renovated apartment was among the properties affected by the storm. The flooding and damage from Hurricane Ida added yet another layer of difficulty to Ray's already challenging period. In a poignant interview with People magazine, Rachael Ray offered a detailed account of the devastating damage her New York apartment suffered due to Hurricane Ida. The storm's impact was severe and far-reaching, affecting her home in ways that were both physically and emotionally overwhelming. Ray described how the hurricane caused extensive destruction, with damage affecting every corner of her apartment. The force of the storm had ravaged the ceiling speakers, dismantled the fireplace, and left the apartment in a state that she compared to having melted. The sheer scale of the damage was a stark reminder of the hurricane's ferocity. The situation was further compounded when a remediation team, tasked with assessing and addressing the damage, inadvertently caused additional harm. In the course of their work, the team accidentally broke a water pipe, which led to a new round of flooding. This mishap not only impacted Ray's apartment but also affected the entire building, sending water cascading down to the ground level. The additional flooding caused further complications, extending the damage and complicating the repair process. The aftermath of these events left Ray facing a series of setbacks and delays. The compounded damage and the need for extensive repairs meant that her return to her apartment was postponed multiple times. However, by Christmas 2021, Ray was finally able to return to her apartment, marking a significant milestone in her journey toward recovery. Her return was a moment of triumph and joy, celebrated with festive decorations that she shared with her viewers on her television show. The display of holiday cheer was not just a personal celebration, but also a symbolic end to a difficult period in her life. Ray's return to her apartment and the way she showcased her Christmas decorations underscored her remarkable resilience and unwavering optimism. Her ability to find joy and share that positivity with others, even after such extensive setbacks, highlighted her strength and determination. The festive decorations were more than just a celebration of the holiday season. They represented a victory over adversity and a step towards reclaiming normalcy and stability in her life. What do you think about Rachael Ray's shocking news in recent years? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.